What up? Appreciate all the support and everything. It's pretty cool. I had a lot of views on that last blog last week about the Lakers. I kind of gave you guys a heads up this week about um, some different topics I wanted to get into. But I think one that's kind of interesting that I've always had is why do pro athletes get paid the money they do? And majority of them probably don't have a degree. And that's not that it's a bad thing, but I mean, you see people that are in the medical field, law enforcement, education, um, that struggle, and it's discouraging, but it's not discouraging to kids because they see a LeBron James, a Ray Lewis, a Peyton Manning, and that's what they want to be. And there's nothing wrong with for a kid to have a dream. That is one of the most, it's one of the coolest things, to hear a kid say what they want to be when they get older. And but it's just when you get older and you're my age, you realize that your dream's hard, your dream's tough. That you really wanted to play in the NBA or you wanted to play in the NFL or whatever it is, and things are tough. But I mean, nobody can stop you. Nobody's going to take your dream away from you. Getting sidetracked here, but my point is that it's I did some math the other day, and I did if LeBron James was to play all 82 games of the NBA season, every single second, what he would get paid per second he played, and it's around about $80 per second. That's pretty good hourly pay right there. I mean, a lot of people think that oh, it's not a big deal. He's worth it. Well, I mean, absolutely, because the amount he makes in a year is not even close to probably what the Miami Heat, the team that he plays for, makes. It's almost that the Heat looks at that as an investment, and they pay the big time players, the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings. They get the money because they deserve it. They're the top in their game. I think we're getting out of hand though with the point that it's, in my opinion, and I hope you guys will reply back to some of this because I mean I really want to start doing this more and get more feedback. But the problem that I have with certain people is that the thing that I struggle with is that for instance, Chris Johnson. Let me say Chris Johnson. You're one of the premier backs. You've been up and down the last couple seasons, and then you hold out for what? You we can get into statistics, we can get into things, but it's like my question to you as a player, do you really need more money? I understand you're a great athlete. I understand that Tom Brady's awesome. I understand that LeBron James is awesome, and but to me, it's like, why do you need $30 more million? I've always struggled with that. I would like $30 more, $3 more. And so that's the things that I struggle with. It's like we're getting to the point where if I was to put myself in a pro athlete's shoe, I would just play my contract out. Could care less what I made because I love basketball to death. Everybody knows that. I mean, check out my room. I got D-Rose, big old banner. My J's are on the wall. Got Jordan stuff there. I play for the love of the game. If I got paid, sweet. And obviously I wouldn't complain. I don't think anybody else would. But it just shows these kids that they grow up and they're like, dang, I'm not good enough. Or, man, I want that amount of money because I want that money. There's no contentment, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's no contentment. I'm watching NFL highlight. It's, kickers are getting $1 million, $2 million a year to kick a ball, and I know these guys are at the top of their game. They're at the top of their level in that sport, and I understand that. But to me, it's just, I think just in the pro sport atmosphere that it sends off a bad vibe to me, to these kids. That, I mean, I remember hearing this one time that less than like 1% of every athlete that plays their certain sport actually make it to the professional level. So less than 1% of every single person in this world that plays basketball is going to make it to the NBA. Less than 1% of everybody that plays football is going to make it to the NFL. And so that shows you just how premier of that league is and how the talent is. Um, I play basketball, a lot, and I've seen people that have made it to the NBA, and I look at these guys and I'm like, man, these guys are sick. These guys are ridiculous. They don't miss. They're big, and to think, come out here and try to hoop with these guys, and they didn't even make it in the NBA. It's like, that's just crazy. That just shows you how big LeBron James and Shaquille O'Neal was physically, and the whole stardom. But I just think that I wish we could see an athlete that doesn't really care about what he wants to, make and flaunt his money. And you hear, when you have so much money and you only work 18 days a year, technically 18, you got to keep in shape and stuff like that. But I mean, we as fans see you work 18 days a year in the NFL. We as fans see you work 82 times a year in the NBA. Um, it's really hard for me to look at you and say, man, you're worth $40 million this year. I just don't get it. I'm not saying I argue it, because I would take it in a heartbeat, but it's just, I'm getting to the point where it's just really hard for me to say, you got 20 million last year and you want 50 this year. I don't, why? Like, I don't, you know, I just don't see that in the real world it doesn't work that way. And, I wish we could go back to just, you based off your performance, that's what you get paid. Dennis Rodman said this one time, and I'll never forget this. He actually said this on the Oprah Winfrey Show years ago. And he said that he feels like that if he didn't do his job, he didn't deserve to be paid. And I thought, man, that is coming from one of the best NBA, most controversial people we've ever met. One of the best rebounder, if the best rebounder we've ever seen. He sat there and said, if he doesn't do his job, he doesn't deserve to get paid. You know, I feel like the sports in the NFL and the NBA, hockey, baseball would be, the talent level and the games would be so much better and so much serious and so much heart and effort and just giving everything they got if they know that there's an incentive to win this game. There's an incentive that if Tom Brady throws 4 touchdowns every game, and every game he does that, he gets 20 grand. I bet you he's going to throw 44 touchdowns every game. If LeBron James gets a triple-double every game and they win, there's an incentive there. And maybe there is. Maybe it's built in their contracts or whatever. But I'm just saying, if these guys are really wanting that much money, then put a little incentive in there to us fans to make the sport better. We ain't got to know what they made. We ain't got to know that, Albert Pujols signed some $200 million deal, I think. And it's just like, what? Really? You swing a baseball bat and you're pretty freaking good, but $200 million? My point is I just feel like that maybe we should just get back to just showing the kids it's about the love of the game, and it's not about the car you drive or what you got in your mouth or the stuff around your neck. That's fine and dandy, and you want to look nice, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's your money. You live it the way you want to, but it's just, I feel like we've just lost the sincerity of the game because money has just completely taken over the sport in every sport. And I just hope that, everyone sees that. I'd love for you guys to kind of speak your opinion on this and maybe tell me what you think. And I look forward to next week. I got a really good topic next week that I've been kind of waiting. And to give you a little hint, it involves Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. And I'm going to throw some stats your way. So defend your player. That's my player. Always will be my player. You're not going to be able to tell me any differently that anybody's better than him. So, other than that, I appreciate y'all's support. Copy and paste this. Do whatever you want. Remember, watch the language. Let's have some fun with this. And I hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later. See ya.